Hey guys, thanks for checking out my channel. Pretty new thing for me to be doing this, but I'm gonna narrate this video because it was kind of windy, and the way I record with this 360 camera is kind of like a dash cam. So I just get like 3 minute highlights, and I stop the footage every time something kind of happens. So kind of makes it hard to really tell a story unless I narrate it, and especially with the wind noise, you can't hear what I really say in the video at all. So yeah, I'm on a river in BC that I guide, and leading up to the video, I'd been guiding a different river, and some of the other guys were on this one, and they were telling me like, "Oh, the golden stonefly, the golden stonefly hatch is just super good right now." So I had a day off, decided to check it out with my weird little jet boat here. So anyway, I'm into a fish right here now. Not a very big one, but pretty cool. I've got a really weird fly on that I kind of put on just for fun because I like catching fish on really ridiculous flies, and they don't get much more ridiculous than this one. I call it the Red Devil, and you'll see here in a second why I call it that. And it really doesn't look like anything, but it works. So yeah, here's a little close-up of that fly. It's basically just a chubby Chernobyl tied with sparkle red foam and some red chenille around the body and a bunch of white rubber legs. And yeah, there's the golden stonefly that I should be imitating, but instead I have a Red Devil on. So yeah, I don't know. I do my own thing, I guess. The trout don't seem to mind a lot of the time. And anyway, so we're out here, and the hatch is definitely going on like the guys were telling me. So the lighting kind of wasn't very good where I was there. So you can see I just switched to the other side of the river, and yeah, they were fish cruising the shoal. It was wild. And especially right there where I just cast it under that tree, I could see them cruising up there and eating golden. So every time I'd see the shadows up on that bank, I'd throw a cast in there, and yeah, and then hook them and lose them. So here's a funny one. This was a nice fish, smashes it, and then I miss him. I go to cast again, and I catch this stupid tree like a rookie. So I'm caught on the tree, and the littlest fish in there grabs my fly off the tree, and he's bouncing around, which actually was kind of good because he gets the line off the tree anyway, which was helpful, even though the fish got off. It was a little precarious what I did there, but I am a professional. Anyway, so I think I got tired of losing fish at this point, so I'm tying on something that makes more sense. I think this is just a yellow tan colored chubby Chernobyl. I don't know, I have a thing with big foam. And so we'll see what happens here. I'm probably going to lose more fish. So I throw it out there, and there's fish rising everywhere. I try to get some of those on video, but it's hard to get them all. This is a really little fish, but first cast after my new fly, we can't complain. So he's cruising around doing his thing, little guy, trying to shake him off here, see if he'll come off so I don't have to bother him by touching him. Oh, and here you can see there's a stonefly bouncing around by my line. It's about to get ate. Watch it. Boom, here it comes. Yep, you can see him come from quite a ways down there too. There's just bugs everywhere. So anyway, here, see if I can lose another fish. So, oh, yep, did I lose it? I did not yet, but stay tuned. So yeah, anyway, this is what I'm doing. So I got this weird boat. You can see, probably wondering by now what this boat is. It's running off a Minn Kota iPilot. I guess it's a Minn Kota. I can't remember what the model is. I can find out if you really want to know, but basically it has a GPS lock on it where I can set the anchor, and it'll hold me in relatively good current. Like right here, the current's kind of not crazy, But for the most part, it'll hold me in fairly swift water if it's just me in the boat. And yeah, it allows me to kind of guide myself. So, kind of funny watching a video of me fishing and doing all the things I would criticize people I would be guiding for doing, because yeah, I've lost a lot of fish here being a little negligent. But yeah, there's a little rainbow, nothing crazy, but he's alright. And so yeah, this motor holds my boat there, and I can kind of move up and anchor it again, or I can drop down. I can even drift down the river if I want to by just driving it with the remote there and setting the cruise control, so I can kind of control my drift as I go down, which is, it's hands-on, but it allows me to still fish myself. You gotta know the river you're on so you don't end up in a bad situation. Like back earlier in the video when I hooked that tree, if that fish didn't get that fly off that tree, to use the remote and go in there and unhook that would be risky to do. You'd probably have to break that fly off. So yeah, anyway, here's another fish on right now. The action is just crazy steady. Like, it's super fun when this happens, because everywhere you look there's bugs on the water and there's fish just coming up everywhere. This river is really deep, so like where the boat is anchored right now, you couldn't put a conventional anchor down here and fish, otherwise I would. Well, you can see the rise there under the tree in the background. That was right in that same spot where that fish put me in the tree, or I guess took me out of the tree. But yeah, there's no way you can anchor here. It's super deep, and it's crazy because these fish will actually rise in this deep water. Like, it's probably 40 feet below the boat right now at least, and you'll see these rainbows come all the way up from 40 feet down to eat these goldens, which is super cool. Anyway, there I missed one again, or maybe I didn't. No, I think I definitely did not set that hard enough. If I get this fish, it's a miracle. And stripping. Gotta spool that reel as fast as I can, catch up some slack. I'm using a Reddington butter stick, which is like my favorite rod to fish. They are kind of a wet noodle feeling rod, so they're not very forgiving if you give a fish slack, and it's easy to give a fish slack with one. But it doesn't matter if you catch a 12-inch fish or a 20-inch fish, they all feel big on that rod. It's kind of like, it's a 5-weight, but you feel like you're fishing like a 2-weight or a 3-weight, so I really like that. You lose a little bit, like, you know, a graphite rod will definitely cast a little bit with more power for sure, but these are fun. There, the wind is spinning my boat off anchor a little bit. It'll still hold in the same spot, but now I'm facing the other direction, which doesn't really matter when you have a fish on. Yeah, there's another. That fish is actually alright. It's a wild fishery, so these rainbows are all native, they're all wild. You never know, you could catch a 10-inch rainbow, or you could catch the biggest I've seen. It's like 32 inches out of this river, so you never know what's going to come up. And on days like this, if you're going to get a really big one, these are the days where it'll happen. That was a cool shot there. Oh, I think he got off. You can see my fly just about hit the camera. Anyway, we're back at it. I have no idea how many fish I touched in this little bit of time. Like, I was only out for a couple hours, and this is just kind of the highlight footage of that. But yeah, like, there, fish rises down there, I'll cast him, there'll probably be another one rise up above. Like, they're everywhere, and they cycle from the deep water where my boat is, and they come up on that shoal, and they feed. So they'll come up, and I think they kind of cruise along it. So just because you see a fish rise, like there, I cast to that fish that rose. He didn't go, so now I cast up to this one. I'm maybe a little behind him. and you know, whether I catch that fish or another fish goes after, they're just cruising everywhere while this hatch is going on. Super fun. But somewhat unpredictable compared to like a normal freestone river where, you know, that fish is behind a certain rock and kind of have their beat. These fish, there's so many fish below my boat right now that are cruising in and out of that shoal that every 10 minutes I think the fish are different up on that ledge. Anyway, eventually I gotta get him. There we go. Nope, miss. He'll probably go again. Nope, I guess not. This is the wind spinning me around again, but this was a cool shot. Right under that tree, I was sidearming that cast in there, which kind of skipping it under that branch, and it worked. So there we go. He's on. Probably gonna lose him. I've been losing a lot of fish watching this footage. It's silly how many fish I lost, but it is what it is. It's still fun. The fun part is, to me, is getting them on the fly, and if they come to the net, I honestly don't really care too much. The odd time, if it's a really, really nice fish, it is kind of a bummer if they get off because you want to see it, but I don't know. I guess I'm lucky. I get to see a lot of fish guiding, so I don't get too worked up about fish very often. And honestly, unhooking them is kind of the most annoying part of it all, so when they get off, it's not usually too heartbreaking for me. I like hooking them more than anything. So yeah, I guess I was talking about my boat there earlier. My wife actually painted this, which was super cool. Worked out well, and you can see there in that shot there's some handlebars on it, so it's got a 650cc Kawasaki two-stroke jet ski motor in it. So it can really annoy guys in conventional drift boats when you go flying by. I try not to be that guy, but you know, you gotta get to the fish. And honestly, I where I'm fishing, there are no drift boats. This is I am in the middle of nowhere here, so being disruptive isn't really an issue. But yeah, a few times I've taken this boat down the Bow River, and yeah, definitely not overly appreciated when I do. I think this is the last fish of the video, but yeah, he smoked this. So yeah, this spot, something funny that comes to mind every time I come here is I had one of my first clients I ever guided here was a lawyer and his son, and sometimes lawyers are really entertaining in good ways and bad ways. So anyway, this guy, he told his son he'd quit smoking, so he's like, oh yeah, I'll give you $20 every time I go to shore. I'm gonna say I'm going pee and you just distract my kid so he doesn't know I'm going for a smoke. So I was like, okay, yeah, I don't really want to do that, but what are you gonna do? So we got down to this spot. It's probably like the fourth stop of the day, and his son looked at me like, Dad's going for a smoke, isn't he? And so I said, yeah, but I'll give you $10 if you don't say anything. Anyway, so this is kind of the end of the video here. Hope you liked it. Please like and subscribe if you did, and leave a comment if you have any questions about my boat or fishing, or want to make fun of me, whatever you want to do. But thanks for watching. I appreciate it.